as we left off, I think, fuck. Forgot my intro. I need to do that more often. Shit. Your sleepless god here. I have to make a video every some days. Uh, I think we left off Midoriya. He's still in the cave. I'm guessing. He's still in the cave and he's, and the gods are basically entering his soul and being one with Midoriya. Now, Midoriya, in this kind of feeling of his body, his the entire I don't know if I mentioned this or not. The entire cave that he's in blew up into pieces as Midoriya starts looking around, and he is like, as his body heats up just like that because of just the flame in his body. He's just like, as he smiles, as he says, "I'm a monster." As we're going to have a little time skip, as I think Midoriya's a little time skip of Midoriya was 6 when this happened. Yeah, Midoriya was 6 when he got left by his parents, when he ran away from his parents, basically. So, Midoriya, what he basically did was, for the past, let's say, 7 years, he just built a life for him. He built a log cabin in basically, think of it like he basically wanted to keep himself safe from almost any danger. So what he did was he made 3 giant mountains. Each side of him made a divot, made a grassland, and in the middle of the grassland there's this wooden college, wooded. There's this house, and this one entry, like a giant entry, that he basically carved in by water, like water erosion, like fast water erosion, like wind water erosion, and he just carved the shit out and basically made an entryway where he can go into a deeper part of the forest. But it's basically like a little garden of Eden in his eyes. It's a little garden of Eden, and through those years, because of his dragon, the dragon god, he's gotten stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger through the years, to the point where his own power is like kind of overriding him, and he needs to like try to control it. Also through the years, he has made many animals count this place that Midoriya has made as a peaceful area. So if you watch the Jungle Book, or watch like the live action version of the Jungle Book, and if you know the pond area where everyone drinks and no one can fight in that area, that is basically what this place is for everyone. This is a zone of peace. No one can attack anyone. Bears can come. Uh, Anyone can come in, and that's the only reason that Midori hasn't put down barriers around this place. Like, I mean, like, high wards of barriers. I mean, like, not even humans could see this shit. Because this is counted as a peaceful zone. Like, cats, wild cats, boars, and sometimes they count this as a resting place. What I mean by that is a resting place for their fallen. Like, if they know they're going to die, they come here, and they go down and then they just die peacefully, because this place is it is perfect. uh, like perfect rain, perfect grass, because Midoriya is controlling it by magic. This entire place is filled with magic. The Garden of Eden was made by magic. Not God was in the last video, that guy who popped up in a shiny ring of light and basically told the animal gods to shut the fuck up? He is God. He is the he is the he's the god of magic. The first Garden of Eden was magic. It's still there. Just no one can go into there except magic people. You know the old story of the Garden of Eden, as the devil tricked them and ate them? That's not true. It's an old wise tale from magic people. Why? Why does magic people say that? It's to not let the mortals know there's an actual Garden of Eden. The Garden of Eden is for magical people, is basically magical heaven. When they die, when the magic people die, when Midoriya will die because he has magic through his veins, and he could use it, he will go to the Garden of Eden. Now the Garden of Eden is whatever the person thinks is the most wonderful place in the world for them, or their wonderful memories. The Garden of Eden is an imaginary place, but a physical place. The whole wise tale of that was just try to get mortals away from, knowing the true secret of the Garden of Eden. Now, off the old wisdom section, go back into the actual reality. You just see Midoriya. Now, Midoriya looks a lot. He's 12, and he's taller, more stockier. He looks like he's more built. His hair is a lot different. And when he was a kid, and when we last saw him, he still had the green parts, and he still had the green and like the black hair. Now, no. It's slowly turning like the tips are red. Like he's like red tips and like a white undercoat. Like he has like white hair with red tips, and that's basically his color. Like, what is the white from? It's from the it's from the horse god, basically the fucking unicorn. That's where the white undercoat goes from, and the red tips come from the phoenix. Actually, red and black, because the black undercoats come from the dragon. It's like red tips and a little bit of black still, and then under that is just pure white. Like he looks like basically like a different person altogether. Like he doesn't look like Midoriya. He looks like an actual just different human being altogether. As you see him, like you just see cats run by and pull. A fucking bear walks into the house as he's making eggs. He's just he's making some bacon. And I know you're saying like, bacon. You motherfuckers. The food chain is the food chain. And Midoriya's magic. Do you think he can't just make bacon? Come on, figure this out already. Midoriya can make a house out of nothing. You think he just can't make bacon? And eggs, as he's just like, he's just showing on some bacon as he's like sizzling some eggs. Midoriya, he kind of feels lazy when he uses magic to cook food. He doesn't feel lazy when he uses magic to like grab a book off a shelf. or grab some like move spices into a recipe. But when he's cooking, he kind of feel lazy when he's using magic. As you see like bears pop in and just like as he walks up and like puts his head on the little like the kitchen counter, and he's like it's like ah, Yogi, how you doing? As he flips his eggs onto this plate and grabs some bacon, as like Yogi's like this fucking massive bear. Like he stands up and the ceiling, like he's scraping the ceiling. This bear is around 8 foot tall, and he's fucking massive. Like I mean, big, muscular bear. As you see, like a little baby bear, as he's like, this bear is a mother. It's kind of like a natural thing for now because of Midori being here. Once, only once, do you show your child, you know, the Garden of Eden, the Midoriya's special place, once in their life, and you show them for a little bit, and then you leave with them, and then when they're adults, they come back to show their kids, or to show, or just to come back, and you show them once, and they will remember, because this place is very magical and very magical. But you see boars like sleeping. Like this is a place where animal instinct doesn't matter. There is no hunting, there is no attacking, and every animal knows this. Every animal follows by the simple rule. Even Midori laid this down when he has 3 simple rules. Like he's like a little. Also, if I didn't explain this, he has a little like watering hole for the animals too, and and he has like there like and he's like has like a little area for meat eaters, and like he has like it doesn't get replenished quick like automatically, but there's like a little area for maybe injured animals where he can heal them, and if they can't, he basically like take care of them. He basically takes care of them. Now, as he's making eggs and doing all this shit, you see a almost same-ish year old man, 12, 13-year-old man with like wrappings around his body and like hickeys on his neck. Yes, we're doing this shit. You cannot stop me. You cannot stop me. But you see bandages around him, and you just see like sort of like 2 to 3 hickeys on his neck. As he's like, you started breakfast without me? What the fuck, man? He looks over. He's like, well, as you see Midori is fucking shirtless, and he's ripped. Like he has abs of fucking steel. He's like fucking muscular. He's like toned. He is toned. And he's like, you didn't wake the fuck up. As you see like Yogi, fucking like starts bouncing because Yogi looks at him, looks back, looks at him, like starts walking over. As you just see like blue flames, kind of like blue flames, like pop up, like streak back in his hair, and like you see blue flames. And no, it is not fucking Dobby. I'm giving you this shit now. It's not Dobby. It is not Dobby. It's a hellhound. It's a fucking hellhound. As you see his kind of like blue flames go around his like body, as he turns into a dog and run up to like Midoriya and kind of just starts like licking his like leg. Now remember this. Remember this. Midoriya is basically a god. Gods do not have genders. Gods do not have genders. And gods do not fucking care about fucking gender neutrality. Gods do not care if you're gay. Gods do not care if you're straight. Gods do not... Like, his level of godhood, he doesn't give a shit. Why does he not give a shit? Because he's a god, basically. Think about that shit. If you have more power than anyone on the human race would ever have in their entire goddamn life, ever, would you care about people calling you gay? Or straight? Or lesbian? Or mixed? Or non-binary? No! No, he wouldn't. No one cares about that shit. He doesn't. Not anyone in the God realm does not care. Does not care about any of that shit. Because when you're up there in the gods, they have sex with everything. And you think I'm joking, I'm not. If you like each other, you bang. Even the animals. How do you think the fucking basilisk, the god of the basilisk was made? A snake god had sex with another animal. How do you think the hell fucking turtles are made? Turtles. Two different animals had sex and they popped out a turtle. And they put them on the earth. Multiple probably on the earth. And they multiply, produce. Rabbits. And then there's a rabbit god. And that's how it works. That's how the world works. In the god realm, if they like each other, have sex, period. As when the dog runs up, after this little suspension, I'm so sorry for all you people. If I hear that's kind of gay man in the chat, I'm gonna be like, dude, they're gods. What the fuck you talking about? One's a fucking hellhound. I don't think there's any fucking sex for animals. And then he's having sex with an animal. Midoriya is a god of animals. What the fuck are you talking about? This makes no sense in my eyes. I'm gonna argue with myself the entire night. So if anyone says anything in the comments, I can fucking argue back. Like, Midoriya is a god of animals. The hellhound got attracted to his scent. Period. And now he's just been crashing at his house for like the past, I don't know, 4 years. Some shit's gonna happen. A hot male that is an animal meets another hot-ish male. He's basically an animal. He's like 73% animal. Midori is barely human. In any sense of the word, he's barely human. At all. So no one cares. Let's keep on going. So as he's like turned into the dog and he like hops on the counter, he's like, Midori looks at him and he says, "You know the rules. No paws on the fucking counter." He pushes him off. Like, no paws on the counter. Like you see some scratch marks on the counter. He's like, "Ah, gosh dang it." He uses his magic to clean it up. And he walks over and he puts the eggs on the plate as, you know, the magic, the blue flames burn off and he turns back to a human. As, Midori give him the eggs. As he pulls out another plate, gets more eggs, and put some bacon, put some sausage on there. As he eating the sausage, eating the eggs, and all that shit, as Max, the half hellhound, half human, 50% hellhound, 50% human, the god of hell, the god of animal of hellhounds, gifted him the power of 50% of him, and blue flames, can turn into a dog, shit like that. Midori can turn into a phoenix and turn into a unicorn and shit like that. So he's like, you know that fucking animals been watching you, right? Like, oh, you mean that as a, you mean that like quirk? I don't what is it called. Like they have quirks. Like yeah, quirks or something like that. And like the magical people really don't care about quirks. Like if you're magical, you have something high level or that like so much bigger and way more stronger than any quirk in the world. So why would you give a shit about quirks? Like All Might's quirk is nothing to a weak wizard. To a weak wizard, it's nothing. I can destroy city blocks. I can do the same, bitches, with a single fire spell. Mostly because of alchemy. But as he's like, yeah, what's his name? Ah, Nezu. Oh, delicious. You gotta really teach me how to cook this. Like, I'm not teaching you how to cook. Like why? Uh, Nora looks at him just like, then I would have to sleep in to just wait for you to cook, and you would mess up my freaking kitchen. As Max is like, come on, dude, I want to mess up the kitchen. He's like, I made 2 pans dirty. Last time you cooked, you made 16. 16! To the point where I had to use magic to clean the pans. Max, no. He's like, you good at. He's like, no. Like, practice, just practice makes perfect. You, as you swallows. Yeah. Yeah, it does. Just practice and clean up the dishes. When I'm not here. Max is like, okay, and he grabs some bacon. So, what are you gonna do about it? I could burn him alive. Like, we're not burning Nezu alive. He's a good guy. On the other hand, that fucking edgy is. You don't really notice it, but he's kind of edgy. And he's like, really? You seem pretty, well, he has kind of an edgy backstory to him, and it's kind of interesting. He's like, oh, like, cool. Like, really? Yeah. Like, a bunch of scientists, experimented on him and made him like really incredibly smart. He's like, oh, well, what happened to the scientist? As Max eats like he took a drink. He's starting to drink some orange juice, and he's like, I burned them alive. As Max doesn't even spit it out. Makes sense. Like, what did he do? They tortured cats, dogs, and then rats. Nezu to the complete and utter sanity. That's why he has a scar on his face. He's like, oh, so you didn't let me do it? He's like, I should. I'm sorry, dude. And he's like, man, it's fine. He's like, it's not bad. And he's like, I can make it up to you. As Max smiles and he's like, you know what I want, don't you? He's like, I know what you want. As he grabs the table, as he says, you want a pie, don't you? You want you want a cranberry. Ah, shit, sorry. You want an apple pie, don't you? As Max fucking, like, he just says, you know my way too fucking well. As both of them look at each other and just like, I'll make the apple pie. He's like, thank you very much. As we kind of switch viewpoints, in kind of this office area space with 4 heroes. Actually, 5 heroes. We got Skinny All Might. Actually, 5 people in all, not heroes itself. Skinny All Might, Aizawa, Nezu, Present Mike, and Midnight all in the same room. And they all kind of And he's like, President Mike, he's like, so what do you ask us here? And he's like, Nezu was like, okay, so there's this boy in the woods. And as I was looking at him, he's like, you asked us all here, even All Might, for a boy in the woods? He's like, no, 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 no. This is a lot bigger than you think. I found it in my explorations of trying to find out other quirkful animals like me, and I saw this place, and all the animals there were peaceful. It was basically like a non-hunting grounds for them. Like I saw fucking bears resting with gazelles. Like I seen like a like predators of other animals and like big beast resting with their mortal enemies, but instantly when they leave that place they started fighting. And I think it's sort of like a quirk that we might need to look into or might need to get the boy. And there might be some mischievous things that are happening in this house. And he's like, what do you mean? What do you mean by that? This, I don't know, this blonde-haired. I don't know. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. Max has straight white hair, like, no, sorry, that's not no. Max has straight black hair, and like, black beady eyes that can stare into your fucking soul. Like, don't get it twisted. Max will beat the hell up. He's funny. Max is funny, and he does some like, he talks a big game, but if you mess with fucking Midoriya, like to the point where, like, if anyone fucks with Midoriya that tries to hurt his feeling and call him names or call him things, because Max knows Midoriya's past, knows how he does with people, he will burn you alive. And he's like, yeah, I saw this really. He's like, we might need to go over there, maybe talk to the boy. He looks very young, 12-year-old, 13-year-old at max. We might need to talk to him, trying to figure out where his parents are, figure out. And he's like, you couldn't you get like the cops involved with this? Like, no, this is way too strong of a quirk, probably. He's making animals like bears seem as peaceful as like baby kittens. I've seen like people, other animals go there to die. It is their resting place. We need to investigate this. We need to investigate this fuller, and we might need to ask the boys a couple questions. So I'm asking you guys to be prepared to maybe clear out a day of your schedule. And all of them are looking at each other, and he's like, this could be sort of serious, so yeah, okay, we'll go with you. He's like, okay, we're good. Okay, so remember, I'm gonna get more information if I can, but he stands up and he's just like, remember, as he moves it, he starts twisting his chair and he jumps off his chair and he's like, remember, be prepared, as he walks out with his tiny legs. And that is the end of What If Midoriya Had 3 Gods inside of him. See you guys later. Your sleepless god is out, and I will see you guys tomorrow or maybe the next day. Matters when this video comes out.